So, hello ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Rails&Games playing City Skylines. Today we are continuing to build our city, and we are going to see what is going to happen today. We should remember that we have some things to take into consideration. We don't want to build here, don't we? We don't want to build here, chase, die and obey. And we don't want to build here. So we have some restrictions, but it shouldn't restrict us too much in our expansion of the city. But we can see how we can improve the city itself. What are people whining about? A lot of dead bodies. Drew, check that. Healthcare. Well, we only have. We'll need some cemeteries. So that's a bit of a logistical challenge. Yet it shouldn't be a difficult one. We see that we have quite a big capacity that we can use on this lane. So we could be a little like, we shouldn't really build in Chester A and OB, but we can just move the border a bit so that it's legit. Or we could make this one go in a tunnel, make this road. I think the easiest option is to actually make this road go in a tunnel, and then we can build the like the death care facility here, and it shouldn't really be too bad. We can build the death care facility somewhere here instead, but I think the smartest idea is actually to make this one building a tunnel. It's not a realistic idea though, because in real life we just take some other space. Building a road and a tunnel is quite expensive, so it's not every day you do that, eh? And we do the usual thing, make it down to one lane. And you're like, why are you doing that? Well, there's no idea about that. But first we need to make it straight, so usually it will be like, we're going to take the other way around. There's a purpose with that. You get a straight road, then we can just make it the same tunnel here. Yeah, we'll not need to change anything. But as you see, yeah, we'll need to change the direction of this one. So what you can do, I think you can do this, and look, no, it didn't change anything. Okay, we're going to do this. Then we'll do it step by step. Page down. Yeah, there you go. Then we can just remove that one and that one. And take it in a few steps. And then we just remove this last part. Oh, we need to go over ground. And then we just take that one, that one. Cool. Now we fix that, but we were about to build a little connection here, and what we could do in the future is that we can build a connection to the highway, or maybe an entrance to this A&OB, and build a cool path system in it. That's for that, and we want to add maybe is we can have like an entrance here to the A&OB and have like some signage and some benches and maybe a restaurant or something. Cafe or something here, and we have paths going into Chester A&OB. So yeah, we're about to add a cemetery. We can add a sauna, but we've already done that somewhere else. But a cemetery would be nice. Let's just build 2 of them. So right now we have some space. They went about hospitals. Where is health bad? It's not especially bad anywhere, but they suffer a bit here. I think it has to do with the fact that there's a downside in combining. Yeah, there's a downside in combining commercial sometimes, and because you have the sound. But I think what we should do is that we should add a sauna, because sauna Sauna's health. The benefit many people. Oh yeah. Bit of a traffic jam there, eh? Everyone is going there. So I think we'll need to fix at some point. We'll need to build a highway exit, and maybe it's gonna be. Yeah, I'm not really the person that want to build highway exits, but I think I'll do that. I will need to do that at some point. Should we do it now? Maybe we need to do that. And what we're going to do when we build it will be the third highway exit in our city. When we do that, or we can consider other options. What we could consider is to make better connections with the already existing areas. For instance, we can extend this road. Make the page down. Oh shit! But it shouldn't be too bad. Even though that line, the metro goes next to it. So there we made a little connection. We'll see how that will change, how that affects traffic. If it reduces the amount of traffic, then we're very happy for it. If it doesn't, then we're not happy. But there's a lot of traffic going from there. Okay, we'll see how that changes. Oh, interesting. I want to check something. You know, when it comes to boats, because oh my god, cargo hub, cool. That also accepts train traffic. That's cool. That's very efficient. That's like very satisfying. Shoreline. Oh, you need a shoreline, so that's not really an alternative. Oh, there's a shoreline there. Oh yeah. We could build a harbour there. Okay, it seems to be like we can build a harbour here, there, or there. So we have some options if we want to build a harbour connection. I think we need to do that sometime in the future to help manage the import and export of goods. How's traffic going? It's all going alright. Have we added these? Yes, we have. But we maybe want to add another hospital. But I want to see if any traffic has chosen this road yet. There's a little bit of traffic, so alleviates a bit of traffic. It does. Yet we're going to do a little bit of study here. So if we use the traffic analysis tool, we only need to do this, because this will give us enough information. Okay, so it's a bit all over the city. I don't like this interface. No. Oh, you just get this interface even though. You know what, then I go with the classic one. It's a bit more visual. It's easier to understand sometimes. Oh no, you want to combine the two. Yeah, it overran them. Oh, whatever. So, it's basically traffic going from. There's a little bit of traffic going from here. But most of it is actually going from outside the city. Or is it? Not really, maybe. But there's a lot of traffic that want to go from here. There's a quite fat line here. Want to go from there to there. and those areas there. So I think we need to improve metro connections. If we haven't already done that. So where's the metro? Yeah, it's a question about this line. This line needs to go to here, maybe, shouldn't it? Let me think about that for a while. But it's basically transport going right over the districts there, because there's not really a good alternative. And having said that, there's not a good option, so everyone is basically forced to use the same route. And public transport wise, there's no public transport. So what we could do, but that won't really solve anything, so I think we should extend this metro line. We don't want to get it too messy though. That's something that we need to take into account. So let's press the metro. We don't want it too messy though. We could build a train station there or here, but yeah, it's the downside of having a motorway, so to speak. But we could build a station. No. Okay, there's something that is in the way. But the best location would be there. You have to cross under the other metro line, but I don't think that is an issue. But on the other hand, because we maybe want to expand here, so it won't really help to have that route. An alternative would be to have the station to end somewhere here. So they connect. They have to change. But you know what? Let's remove that station that we plotted out recently. We are going to build the station here instead, near to the bus stop. I think it's smart to have it near to the bus stop. There, maybe? Should we have it there? Yeah, it's quite logical, isn't it? Won't really connect that well. We have that little bus route for sure. We have those offices there. Don't know what to say though, but I think if we have the train station with the other train station, I mean the metro stop. If we have a metro stop, oh, it's there. Interesting. Then we should have the stop there. We'll see what happens with this. Make a nice turn, shouldn't we? No, not like that. It's like that. The same thing applies for this one. We'll see how that goes. And we have a straight. Oh, that looks alright. It's a bit sharp on the angle there, but not too sharp. No, but then we'll make this sweeping turn. Like an S curve. Not too bad. Wouldn't feel too bad about that. Oh, that isn't not too bad. That's alright actually. Quite satisfied with that. So now we're going to extend the line. So we just drag line to get another stop. Just drag it all the way back there. Add stop, add stop, and we're going to add. So now we basically have a circle. No, we don't have a circular route. We basically have one short route and a long route, and it's soon it looks soon as it's going to become a circular route. This one doesn't really look like that. It could become a circular route, which maybe goes like this, those 4 stations, but maybe we have some other stations here and it will go over like that. But we'll see how that goes. Enough about that. We'll see. Oh, is traffic here? Well, it's quite busy, but not too busy. It's not too busy. Not too busy yet. Little bit of traffic, but it's not so much that it is a problem. Because as far as there's a tram going out, there will be some hold up. So any time, yeah, no, there's a tram hold up. No, it just went right through the tram, eh? That's interesting. That's very interesting. And as road usage, it's quite high. Well, 4 lanes of highway encourages people to use their cars. Well, that's not really what we want to do, but sometimes it turns out like that. Yet some hold ups are behind the trams. Shouldn't be too bad, and Regent's Village shall be seen as like 4. Yeah, it should be seen as this is how we should do it. Yeah, Regent's Village, a mix of high and low density buildings. We have a big demand for commercial commercial buildings as well. But I mean industrial buildings and offices. And what would be a good area to put new offices in? I mean, here we have room for expansion, but we haven't really solved the traffic issues yet. But how does traffic look like? And how could it be? How does traffic look like? Well, there's a lot of people cycling. That's good. But there's not. There could be more people using public transport. And we can see that from each individual area. Yeah, you know what? We could build a little bit of a pedestrian network. So shouldn't we do that? Yeah, we can use this one as a basis. We should remember that this forest shall be left as it is. And yes, it causes urban sprawl, but just deal with it, you know. Cities like Stockholm and London and whatever, they could have been much smaller if they wouldn't have parks everywhere. There's a very big park in north. I think it's north. It is in north. It is in I think it's northeast London. There's a really big park here. They have a golf course there, and it's quite centrally located. Somewhere, it's not Stratford, but it's like Stratford. You got Mile End. You maybe know what I'm talking about. I don't really know the name of the park, but it's around Stratford, Mile End. Not Tower Hamlets, because that's in the other direction. Hackney. Is it Hackney really? No, I mean, is it in the borough of Hackney? Yeah, I think so. But you know, if you know what I'm talking about, you maybe know what park I'm referring to. Okay, this is good. We've got a cycle path. that hasn't really solved the problem. So yeah. But we're starting from here. Here we got the train station. Oh no. You know what we do then? We just take that. Do you want a level crossing? Yeah, we can have that. We'll just have it right in between. Is it beneficial? No, it's not. But you know what? We're going to turn down these buildings even though. Because we want a we could have made it a bit closer though. Not too bad. Well, anyhow, we're going to add these paths. We have a railway line going here. It should be very useful. Very useful. Adding even more. We'll see how this affects traffic. Hopefully it affects traffic positively, so we don't have a lot of necessary journeys made mostly by private vehicles. You know, garbage trucks and such. You can't really say that they do unnecessary journeys, because in this game, correct me if I'm wrong, but there is nothing such as garbage trains and things like that. It would be cool if there were. Then you could have a big garbage plant, and then you could have smaller trucks going to drop-off stations where they would just drop off garbage, and then there would be a garbage train just coming collecting it, and then it goes to the garbage thing. I mean the garbage plant, incinerator. If you played SimCity, you could have done something similar, but it wasn't really like that. It was more like you can just send your garbage to your friend, and your friend would get paid for that. So you just get someone else does it instead for you. You don't have to deal with the problem. Where were I again? We're building pedestrian paths here. So we want to add them so that they are close, but yet not too close, because then the game will whine about it. Maybe there. I mean, these paths take up valuable space, but I consider that the value of the space is so high, so it's worth doing it. I mean, not what I'm saying. I mean that not the value of the space itself, but the value. I mean, the value of having cycle paths and pedestrian paths. How much it can help reducing traffic. That is what I mean. Now we added that. Yeah, we need to add another one. That is exactly what I mean. So add another one. This is quite cozy. You got two paths there. So we got in the correct cycle path. Yeah. So it's on the right side, so to speak. You don't want to have a cycle path and then you got a and then you just change the way of how it is. That wouldn't be nice. So yeah, I had to remember that cycle path, then a bike path. I mean, then a pedestrian path. It's quite cozy doing this here. So we add the next one. We'll see if it works to have it so. No, it didn't work. We need to have a little bit of space. We've turned down some buildings, but there will be new buildings next to the path, so we don't need to worry too much about that. So yes, It's getting quite busy already. So we are having the wanted effect. What way? Yeah, no, that was a bit swapped, but you know what? We're just saying, oh well, swap there, but we're not going to swap it. This is not really straight, eh? We need to straighten this up. Remove these road guidelines there. They're causing too much havoc. Why doesn't that work? You know what? We just move the school there. I think most people will be pissed off about that because I can think that people will be like, oh, why did they move my school to be not as an attractive location? Okay, that's alright. We're just extending this network, you know, and people are already using it. You know what? That was a bit not straight. You can see that at the distance up on the top there is a bit bigger in between the two paths than down here. You know, we can. I've seen that there's a very important connection that isn't connected. That isn't made. Yeah. And it is. Shit. Come on, be straight with me. We'll build it there then. That's not really straight, but it's nearly straight, so it's straight enough for me. Add this little bridge over here. This is a bit just to get over that tunnel entrance. So then we add that, and yeah. Let's say it just ends there. So it has more of a local function than a regional function. Regional. I don't mean regional, you know what I mean. I mean something. Well, what do I mean? Well, I mean. Let's just connect the local ones. I mean something. Something. Just connect that somehow. There is a connection there, but it's bicycles only. So that connection needs to be fixed so pedestrians also can use it. We'll just do the same thing here, won't we? Now we're just getting a lot of junctions. Yeah, it's alright. It looks a bit weird though. And we have a bit of swappage in between what junction is what and what not. I mean, what side the junction should be in. But yeah, everything's added now. Yeah, I think it's alright. We'll see how traffic changes. People are using this station. Oh, 702. You know, that was a bit difference the pedestrian paths made. So I'm having just like 293, and then you have like 702. You know, there's nearly doubling the amount. Yeah. So that's good. And how's traffic, by the way? Oh, it's decreased a bit actually. Now it's down at acceptable levels. Exactly. Now it even looks like now we have the roads are too big for that they actually need to be, you know. They look too big for its task. Okay. We got that Fox Mall. and it's a loss of 960 something currency a week. Too bad. But unique buildings. When are we going to be in 75,000? But there are some unique buildings like Hadron Collider and a few others. There's traffic going here then. It's a bit red. It's not really long queues. It's just a bit slowly moving traffic, so it's not too bad. And we have an average traffic flow of 92%. I would say above 90 is alright, but that mainly has to do with the size as well of the city. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know how they measure like percent, if it's if they just take the amount of traffic volume in relation to the whole of the network, or if it's like relative to a certain algorithm. For instance, if you just have a city of 100 people, then if you were to have a queue in such a city, you wouldn't just get like 5% or like 10% or something. If you would have a massive queue, I don't know how you would be able to do that, but if you would be able to do that somehow, you wouldn't just get a very low percentage on average traffic flow. So there must be some other way than just taking the rail network and just seeing traffic volumes and and seeing how fast traffic is moving. It looks like traffic's flowing generally quite well. Some people want to go over the road, but it's not too much. And it looks like that this connection is being used quite a bit, but not so that it overloads the network. It was maybe unnecessary to build it, but we didn't need to build a third highway exit, so that was alright. I just love this exit. I just like it. It looks so nice and it seems to function so well. Although it has its weaknesses. It truly has. But you know, we're going to build the entrance to the park. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to watch the next episode to check out the new park, which I have built. And do not forget to press the like and the subscribe button. And also, do not forget to check out my Patreon. Rails&Games wishes you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.